Ballet was born in France, but more importantly, it was here that it found its identity. For centuries, the French tradition has shaped not just how dancers move, but how they train, perform, and think about the art itself. At the center of it all stands the Paris Opera Ballet, a company that has defined generations of dancers. And from this tradition emerged some of the most refined, influential, and unforgettable artists who changed what ballet could be. In this video, we explore the 10 greatest French ballet dancers of all time. Let's dive deeper and begin with a dancer who represents the elegance of the French school today. He became one of the youngest étoiles of the Paris Opera Ballet, quickly recognized for his purity of line and calm musical phrasing rather than overt virtuosity. Technically, what defines him is control over amplitude and musical restraint, never forcing movement, always letting it unfold with clarity and softness. He stands out not through excess, but through absence of effort, which is a rare quality in contemporary male ballet today. Gilbert rose through the ranks of the Paris opera system with a reputation for precision and consistency rather than early spotlight hype. Her strength lies in clean classical technique combined with rhythmic accuracy, especially in fast footwork and crystalline upper body coordination. She represents the modern French ballerina, disciplined, musical, and structurally flawless rather than overtly expressive. Le Riche was known inside the company for his intensity and unpredictability. He became étoile in 1990 and later shifted toward more contemporary and theatrical roles, often pushing against classical limits. Technically, he excelled in dramatic attack, grounded movement, and upper body expressivity, making him especially powerful in narrative roles. He is remembered not for technical perfection alone, but for the feeling that something was always about to break on stage, controlled risk rather than stability. Laurent Hilaire was a long-standing étoile of the Paris Opera and later became a key artistic director. His career is defined less by spectacle and more by longevity and consistency at the highest level. His technical identity is built on clean academic classical form, controlled jumps, and disciplined epaulement, reflecting the traditional French style at its most pure. At number 6, we place Marie-Claude Pietragalla, who became étoile at a very young age and quickly distinguished herself through a more physical and expressive approach than her predecessors. Her movement quality blends classical bass with extreme torso articulation and grounded contemporary energy, breaking the traditional verticality of ballet. She matters because she represents the moment French ballet began to openly question its own form. Opening top 5 on our list, we have Manuel Legris, who was one of the defining male étoiles of his generation, known for both technical brilliance and refinement. He later became director of the Vienna State Ballet, extending French influence internationally. Technically, he excelled in fast battery, clarity of footwork, and effortless elevation, with a very clean classical aesthetic. He embodies the idea of the French dancer as both performer and ambassador of style. Lifar was born in Ukraine but played a central role in shaping the Paris Opera Ballet in the 20th century, both as a dancer and as a choreographer who redefined its repertoire after the Diaghilev era. His style emphasized elongated lines, sculptural poses, and a strong sense of theatrical geometry, moving ballet closer to neoclassical abstraction. He is less a performer in modern terms and more a system builder of French ballet identity, and without his influence, French ballet wouldn't become what it is today. Patrick Dupond was one of the most explosive stage presences ever produced by the Paris Opera Ballet. That is why he is taking third place. He became étoile at a very young age and quickly stood out for his extraordinary physical energy and stage intensity. Technically, he was defined by extreme elevation, fast footwork, and a powerful dynamic attack that pushed classical variation to its limits. What made him unique was the feeling that his dancing operated constantly at the edge of control, creating a sense of risk and unpredictability on stage. Number 2 on our list goes to Aurélie Dupont, who built her career entirely within the Paris Opera Ballet, rising to étoile and later becoming the company's artistic director. Her dancing is defined by precision, clarity of placement, and strong musical discipline, with a focus on clean classical structure rather than theatrical excess. Her presence on stage is controlled and refined, with movement that remains fully contained and deeply consistent in its line and intention. But there is one dancer who didn't simply embody French ballet. She eventually moved beyond it entirely. Guillem began her career at the Paris Opera Ballet but quickly moved beyond its traditional framework to pursue an independent international path. Her technique redefined classical ballet standards through extreme extension, exceptional flexibility, and a freedom of movement that broke conventional academic lines. She ultimately represents a shift in ballet history, from institutional dancer to autonomous global artist, expanding what a ballerina could physically and artistically become. From the foundations of French ballet to its most radical transformations, these dancers each shaped the art in their own way. Some defined its structure, some pushed its limits, and some changed what it could become. If you enjoyed this journey through French ballet history, you can explore more top 10 videos on the channel, where we dive into the greatest dancers, companies, and moments in dance history. And if there is a list you would like to see next, let me know in the comments. Subscribe for more deep dives into the world of dance.